Alright, today is our first full day of keto eating together. Just to be accountable, I did have something to eat before the clips that I'm about to show you. I had 2 of the turkey sausage sticks, as well as 2 mozzarella sticks. And then the rest of what I had, you will see in this video. This is lunchtime. A little late for lunch, it's 3 o'clock, but I'll explain that kind of stuff, or maybe you've already seen that. I've explained why it's late. But we're gonna make pizza chaffles. We're gonna make the Wonder Bread chaffle. No cheese included in this recipe. And then we're just gonna top it with our pizza ingredients. So each recipe makes 2 chaffles, and since there's 2 of us, we're gonna double up because we're gonna have 2 each. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with 2 eggs. Next, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of mayo. It calls for Duke's, but I just have the Kroger brand. It's carb-free though, as well. And then we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of water. And we're gonna mix up the wet ingredients before we add the dry. And like I said, this will make 4 chaffles total. So if you're just making 1 serving, you just want to use 1 of everything that I just used, like 1 tablespoon of mayo, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of butter. All right, to our wet mixture, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of almond flour. A pinch of pink Himalayan salt, and about 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. All right, our chaffle iron is nice and hot, and I'm just going to scoop this out into a little less than 1/4 tablespoon, or 1/4 cup. Because we don't want to put so much in that it oozes out the sides. Sometimes I can get it to a perfect science, and then other times I make a mess. So let's just hope that it does not make a mess. So this usually takes between 3 and 4 minutes per chaffle. You just kind of have to eyeball it.
Alexa, set timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, volume 6.
Also a good, also you'll notice your chaffle iron, if you've never made these before, it will rise because of the, do you see it rising down there, babe? You can see it rising up because of the baking powder. And then usually once the steam stops coming out of it, that's a good indication that it's done as well. All right, Alexa, stop the timer.
3-minute timer canceled.
And there's our first Wonder Bread chaffle. And these are much different from the ones that have the actual cheese in it, because they're more of like the name Wonder Bread. It's going to be a soft, but it's not going to stay soft because we're going to do it up with our pizza toppings, put it in the oven to crisp them up, and they'll be nice and crispy like a little pizza. All right, chaffle number 2. Number 2. $3.75, I guess.
Crank your hair up.
Alrighty. All right, now that we have our pizza base is made, our Wonder Bread truffles. We're just gonna sit them on here like so. And I have this in the fridge already opened, the Rayo's homemade pizza sauce. We're just gonna go ahead and, do you like more sauce or less sauce? Is that good sauce for you, or do you want more?
In this case, with how much bread there is, I'd say about that much right there is good.
Okay.
I'd say that's good. After it melts down, maybe a tad more. Something about like yay, yeah.
All right, we have dressed our truffles, and we have the oven preheated at 375 degrees.
Correct.
And we're gonna go ahead and pop these in there for between, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, just so the cheese gets melted and the truffles get a little crispy.
Yeah, at 375, I would say check on them at 5 minutes, go from there.
10 minutes, at least.
10 minutes is like when you put a frozen pizza in.
I want mine in there for 10 minutes so it'll get nice and crispy.
Okay, if you want yours crispy. So it's all a matter of
Preference.
preference.
All right, here they go into the oven.
All right, guys. I thought 10 minutes was going to be too long. However, I did it for 5 minutes at first, and the cheese was still trying to melt, so I did it for another 5 minutes, and it came out pretty good in my opinion. It's just ever so slightly brown on top and around the edges. 10 minutes, looks good at 375, and now it's time to eat. And for dessert, we are going to split this Think Keto bar. And I am already starting to crave something carby, like oatmeal, a sandwich with bread or toast. Also, I was thinking, okay, maybe a Cliff Bar. I looked on the Cliff Bar and it said 35 carbs. I was like, no, can't do that. I'm craving sweets. So I may have a little deal of honey after this, because this is my first day not to eat white sugar. So I want to be careful with that transition since it has made me sick in the past. I'll do 3 days of that and then completely cut out the honey. But interesting, I'm skipping 1 meal of carbs and sugar. Here it is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm already craving. That's to be expected.
It is.
All right.
It'll get better. So here's what we're eating on tonight for our last meal of our first day of keto. We made some chicken salad out of the packs of chicken. We just added some mayo and relish. We have our veggie tray here. We've got cucumbers, red bell peppers, and cauliflower, some pickles, and we have some different kinds of dips. We have the dill, Marzetti's dill dip. We got this yesterday actually at Kroger, and it's by Simple Truth. It's plant-based cauliflower dip. It's the buffalo. It has a nice kick to it. It's very good. And we have these over here. You want to show those? These are the ones that are left from Christmas. The brown sugar cinnamon, we can't eat that because it has sugar. We have garden vegetable. And then there's another one over there.
Does this have sugar in it?
Yeah.
Cream cheese spread? I mean,
Yeah.
chive and onion.
And chive and onion. These are the ones that are left from Christmas that we didn't eat. So we figured we'd pull them out and have them tonight with our little snacky dinner. And we'll be back after we're done eating. It's 7:46 right now. But we'll be back in a little while after we eat I'll show you our plates when we get our plates made up, and then we'll be back after we eat to talk about how the first day of keto went for us and how we're feeling and all that good stuff. So give us 1 minute and we'll fix our plates. All right, here is my plate. Chicken salad, pickle, cauliflower, cucumber, red pepper, and cream cheese dip.
And this is my plate. Voila.
All right, here we are at the end of day one. We both look haggard and miserable and
Earlier we were, but now
yeah,
doing a little better now.
It's been a rough day. Yesterday was
It was better.
a 75% successful day, and then today has been completely successful for both of us. This is your first day on keto completely.
Completely
Well,
on keto.
he had honey. Well, I don't have to tell. I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
just the honey that I've had in order to transition over detox. It helps with detoxing white sugar. Because I always get really bad migraines whenever I detox regular sugar. I mean, coming from Pop-Tarts and like the Valentine candy hearts, box of chocolates.
And this has been months and months and months of us eating like this.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, there have been like a few days, like maybe 3 or 4 days where we ate a little healthier, but as far as cutting out, you were just saying this is the first time in how many years?
$13 since I have not had sugar, or mindfully not had sugar. I'm sure on accident at some point in the past 13 years I probably did not eat sugar, and someday maybe if I was sick or had a hangover I didn't eat anything, maybe ate a burger at the end of the day. I don't know. But as far as purposefully not eating or fasting off of something, yeah, it's been since like 2008. It's been a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were giving me grief, and you've probably already seen my grocery haul and about the processed foods and the food choices that we got from Walmart in our grocery haul. All I have to say about that is I'm not justifying my way of eating to anybody. This is what I'm doing. I was successful at this. Everybody decides to forget when I was successful at doing keto it's been almost 2 years now. And I lost over 60 pounds.
It's a year and a half. It was a year. It was right before I got here.
Yeah, there was that summer, fall before you got here.
Yeah, so it was a little over a year.
Yeah. And is processed food the greatest choice for you? No, it's not. But the processed food coming from where I have been eating for the last year and a half, almost year and a half, it's a huge improvement. And it's going to start me on the way to losing weight and transitioning me into eating better choices, going from having, a McDonald's hamburger to a hamburger made at home in a roll in a package, is a lot better than having the hamburger from McDonald's.
Everybody just needs to start where they're at.
Yeah.
Doing something is better than doing nothing. And the path that Jennifer has been on has been very destructive for the past many months. So if it's processed keto, I'm not going to argue with that. She's getting on the path. So.
Right. And my choices, hopefully in a month from now, will be better than they are today and more healthier.
We did have some live food, though. That's like the most live food I've eaten.
Yeah, fresh.
Since right after I got here, I think. Because I was eating pretty healthy when I got here. But then ever since the holidays hit a year ago, then it's just kind of been...
Because I remember the night he got here, we did order Wendy's that night. I remember distinctly. But I even ordered a salad that night. So I didn't partake in eating fries and burger even then, I was good. I think it was because I was afraid to eat in front of you too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Put on a
still,
little show.
putting on until I got comfortable. But then after that, just like when, like you said, when Christmas hit, or the holidays, November, it's been a little rough today. I'm very proud of my food choices. I kept my calories down. My carbs were under what they're supposed to be. I'll insert pictures of my carb manager so you can see the carb count, calorie count. Probably need to up my fat intake just a bit, but I'll figure that out as I go along. I did have an emotional breakdown, a little bit of a drama moment, because there was a moment when I was sitting down with my dinner, and my dinner was very good. I had, as you saw the clip, the chicken salad with the fresh veggies. It was delicious. It was very good. And the red peppers were even better than I thought they would be. I haven't had a red pepper. I've had red peppers, of course, in things, but I've never actually sat down and taken a bite of a red pepper by itself. And it was surprisingly tasted a lot better than I had imagined it. But
it was good with the chicken salad.
Yeah, it was very good. But I sat down to eat and I looked at my plate and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is not what I want at all.
Yeah, it was disappointing. It was messing with both Jennifer and I's emotions.
Yeah. And people that do not have that addiction to food or that are not a foodie kind of person, they don't understand that draw to the food. And it's just, and I'm going to start to cry, and people are going to think that it's, a lot of people who don't understand think it's so dramatic and they make fun of you for crying over food. And it's not you're crying over the food, it's the emotions behind the food. Sometimes when I was sitting there with my food before I ate, I was questioning whether I actually wanted this or if I just wanted to keep eating and just die from being obese. Is it worth being miserable? Because it is that miserable. People look at you and be like, well, you would be miserable the way you are. Yes, it's miserable to be almost 600 pounds. It's completely miserable, but it's also miserable to sit down with a plate of food and it's not what your addiction is. It's not what your mind is craving. And it is its own kind of hell in itself. And I wasn't sure I wanted to share this, but I want this to, the whole reason I started this channel in the first place is hoping to be successful at weight loss and to be able to look back at where I was. And that's why I'm sharing this now, is because hopefully a year from now, I'll look back at this video and be like, wow, look at you, look how miserable you were, and then now look how happy you are.
You will.
I hope so.
And I felt that way with alcohol as well, of course. I think any addict, when you take away the substance, those emotions start to come up, and there's a lot of hopelessness, there's a lot of self-condemnation, a lot of feeling of loss. Those emotions are so powerful that it's fight or flight. You're either gonna get depressed, cry, beat yourself up, beat somebody else up, lash out, use. There's some kind of form of emotion that will start to begin to come up. So, anyways, so.
And it's
tough.
It is very tough.
And I think we're just preaching to the choir. Many people know that. But it's good to hear it, though, that. I
do get a lot of emails from people who are like, I understand what you're going through. Because a lot of people are hesitant to actually comment because of the negativity. And there are a lot of people out there who get it. So that's why I keep sharing some of the things I do. Because if it wasn't for those people who understand and are supportive, I don't think I would bother posting videos at all, because there wouldn't be a point to it.
Yeah. So yeah, Jennifer started tapping into some emotions there. For me, where I was emotionally was disappointment. I felt like a little bit of depression, and because the excitement was taken away, I don't have the alcohol, So there's nothing else to get excited over except for food and maybe something to watch on TV. It's pretty sad, but I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. And so it was like, wow, you know, the food is pretty damn exciting. I don't have the alcohol, so that is. So I started feeling some emotions there. You know, it was maybe not as much as Jennifer, because my thing's alcohol, but anyways, whatever, I'm just kind of
No, you're right.
analyzing what I was feeling. Jennifer was like, are you okay? I was like, no, not really. It's just kind of sucks. I'm looking at my vegetables.
I'm looking at my cauliflower,
I'm looking at my
dreaming about it
cauliflower.
being French fries.
Anyways, however, on the up and up though, when I was eating it, not only did it look attractive to, you know, the colors were there, right? It's live food on your plate. To the left brain, or to the right brain, it's disappointing. That's the emotional side. But it's left brain, you know, there's some good stuff there. Anyways, it's very attractive. The taste was actually alive. I could taste my food like I haven't tasted in a long time. I don't know when the last time I really ate any live stuff. Christmas, we had some little dips and some veggies, and I was like, damn, that was like the first time I ate live food, and I don't know how long even was before that. So I enjoyed the flavors. I was enjoying it. It wasn't the flavor of a burger or a pizza or other fun food. However, it tasted more. You know, it tasted more beautiful. It tasted more live. Hard to explain. So that's the up and up. I could tell my taste buds were having its own little party, and I was getting something that I have not gotten in a long time.
And I did notice too that it took less of that food to fill me up and satisfy me than it did of the junk food. Like
Yeah,
from
I felt
McDonald's,
satisfied.
I could stuff myself with like a couple burgers and a large fry and dessert
Yeah,
from
you still feel
McDonald's.
like
And it's,
empty.
Yeah, and after eating this, it is a full feeling of satisfied.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's still the craving for the junk, but actually, that's in the head. That craving is in your head. The fullness of actually being satisfied, your body being satisfied, took a far less food than the junk food.
I noticed that, yes. I was satisfied. It felt sustaining.
Yeah.
I was actually satisfied. After we eat junk, I'm full and bloated feeling, but I almost still feel like I'm unsatisfied. It's malnutrition is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, because I would always find myself, even after we would eat like McDonald's, I'd find myself coming out to the kitchen to graze on something that was left over. Like if we had extra French fries, I would come out, like I would go to the bathroom and then come out and grab a couple French fries, even after I was stuffed and full.
It's nutrient deficient. Anyway, I think that
Well,
was
we'll
it.
end the video with something on the positive. We have found an amazing show on Apple TV that we are obsessed with, and sadly we've got up to date on it, so we have to wait till Friday for the next episode to come out. We binge watched season 1 and then caught up on season 2, and it is on Apple TV, and it is called
Servant.
The Servant. And it is the creepiest,
It's just weird.
scariest, weirdest. I'm in love with it. I am like totally obsessed with it.
It's creepy, but not too creepy. It's a little freaky and scary, but not too much. It's a little awkward, but not too much. It's weird, but not too much. It's kind of deliciously a mix of just, I don't know, it's different. Their acting's pretty good too.
The only character that I recognize from the show is the guy that plays Julian, and he is Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter series.
He was my least favorite character in Harry Potter. However, and I think it's because his attitude, the way the character was. But he's really showing his ability to act. I mean, of course, that was only one character in one movie, in one show, but
Let me tell them a little bit about what it's about, so in case they want to watch it, so if you'll be interested in it. It takes place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's about a family, a husband and wife, who have a child, and then
no spoiler alerts.
I'm not.
Okay.
An event happens and the baby dies. But in in the interim, with her trying to, the mother, Dorothy is her name, and in the meantime of her trying to cope with the loss of her child, the therapist, well, I don't think she's a therapist, I forget the name of the woman that is working with her. She's not a therapist, she's like a holistic kind of a, I don't know the name of what she is, but anyhow.
You know, it's kind of hard to tell
without telling
much.
So
because we didn't even know that a lot of this information.
Right, well, but the premise is this lady that's helping her through losing her child has decided that she needed one of those reborn babies, those little dolls that look amazingly lifelike, that you would not know until they didn't move, that they were not a real baby. So she's taking care of this baby like it's a real child. And she and her husband's going along with it, and they hire a nanny, Leanne. And that's when things get creepy, when Leanne comes into the picture. The nanny arrives, and it starts to get really creepy.
It's pretty good. It is.
So, yeah.
That's why we binge watched it. So, again, it's Apple
TV.
Apple TV.
We got a free...
It's an Apple original, so it's only on Apple? Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of like Netflix, yeah.
There's another show we started watching tonight. Jane's not really too much on it. I think it's more of like a chick flick. It's Emily Dickinson.
It's start with the D.
Yeah, it's about Emily Dickinson's life, about back in the 1800s, but it's modern. They have modern music. It's like modern acting to an old time story of Emily Dickinson's life.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty good.
They use modern slang and modern music.
Yeah.
Like some hip hop and some, it's kind of, it has a neat flair to it. It is.
But
it's
I
a little
think
more on the younger girls
flick.
Or even women. Yeah.
Yeah, chick flick kind of thing.
It's kind of cool though.
So that's what we've discovered on Apple TV so far.
Mm-hmm.
On Netflix, if anybody has Netflix, we have become obsessed with Virgin River.
Virgin River is pretty good. Yep.
We're still on season 1 of that.
Are we?
I don't remember. But that's what we're starting. And then we are thinking about starting again.
Breaking Bad
again. He tried to get me for years, literally, to watch Breaking Bad with him when he was at home. Like, he would watch it on his phone while I watched it on my phone, and we would be on the phone together. But I was like, oh, that's a stupid show. I don't want to watch that. And then when he came here, he was like, just watch one episode with me. And I'm like, okay.
She says these things like she assumes that something is stupid, like Home Alone, but she hadn't even watched it, so...
Jean and one of our friends that lives here has been harassing me nonstop since Christmas.
Good.
About watching Home Alone. And came knocking at our door the other day, bringing Home Alone, the movie, with deleted scenes. I'm like, don't encourage him. I'm not a Home Alone fan. I don't see...
It's an American classic.
Who's going to leave their child at home at Christmas time?
It's like Christmas Story or...
How do you forget your child? And then Home Alone 2, a second year in a row, they're going to forget him again? Come on.
Yeah, they had a lot of kids there. And you just have to watch it. You have to give it a chance.
I did. We started watching it.
Yeah.
And 15, 20 minutes into it.
And then the neighbor boy came over. And when the heads were being counted, then he was going through their stuff. And his head was also counted. So it's legitimately could happen. And they sent Kevin upstairs, up in the attic, because he was being a bad boy. Which he wasn't. His brother was actually being a dick. Because he had all his pizza. Anyways, it could happen. And she's calling BS on it. I'm like, look, it's an American classic. It could happen.
In fact, I'm going to send this...
It's a great movie. It's a great Christmas movie. It has all the nice Christmas decorations.
Where's Luna? Let's end with a Luna clip.
Where's Moo? Oh, Moo's waiting.
Moo's sleeping. Moomy! It's like, what's in my face, man? What you got
There's
in my
Luna.
face? I heard her. She's playing.
She's becoming a pounder.
She's becoming a Big Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a baby girl. My baby girl.
Want to say bye to all the people?
Say bye-byes. Everybody loves you, says you're so beautiful.
Bye to the fans. Got some kitty cat fans out there.
She is so beautiful. This is another thing I love about her. Her little paws. She looks like she's wearing sandals. What's Daddy doing? That's your daddy. Oh, what's Daddy doing? That's Daddy's girl.
All right.
That's her daddy's girl.
Bye-bye.
So there you go. The end of day 1. Day 2 for me, but I'm just going to kind of consider it day 1 because we're doing this together. So end of day 1. We're still hanging in there.
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
1 day down and 1,000 more to go.
And we have made the promise that he's not going to give in to me if I say, can you get me something? The only way that I'm going to get something is if he leaves. When he leaves, if I order DoorDash. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just meaning...
No.
And
But I know the reality of that if I slip up, you're going to want to slip up. So, but we're going to stay strong together. We're doing this. We're going to do this.
And I'm not going to... I've told him adamantly, even if I beg and plead and threaten and cry and carry on like a 2-year-old, do not... I had to burp. And I have adamantly told him, even if I cry, scream, carry on, threaten...
Send me down to the river.
Send him down to the riverbank. He is not to bring me home anything whatsoever. So, there's that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for following along on the first day.
I don't know if we'll be back for day 2 or if we'll just do, like, in a couple days we'll do 2, 3, 4.
Like bits and pieces of whatever.
Yeah, it depends on what we feel like recording and how much we're struggling in the next couple of days. First 2 days are always the worst, but it just gets better from there. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and as always, be the love, be the light, and do good things. Bye, everyone.